All right. And we are live. Welcome back to Sister Soul Sessions, where we are elevating entrepreneurs one soulful conversation at a time. I am Brittany, and we are joined by my sister Brandie as well. As you guys already know, this is the place where business meets real life, real stories, and real growth. We have Elliott Pope in the building, founder of Cool Cups in Dallas, Texas, bringing community, culture, and flavor together in a whole new way. Just want to welcome you today, Elliott. If you don't mind, giving us a little introduction. Tell us a little bit about Cool Cups.
Oh man, appreciate it. Thank you for that. I really appreciate being here. Cool Cups DTX is a interesting story. In a nutshell, it's water ice. It's the best frozen dessert out on the market. If you don't know water ice, back in 1950s, post World War II, um, there was a need for entrepreneurship in Philadelphia, and Italian ice was taking had the game. Like everybody was doing
Yeah.
Italian. So the Italians actually taught black people how to make Italian ice, and they created their own substance that was more catered to our palate, and they called it water ice. So it's only in Philadelphia. It's a Philadelphian dessert, and most people don't even know what it is until they get that taste, and they hook like turkey. They hook.
That was amazing. Yeah, I didn't even know the history of it. I have had Italian ice. I do know the consistency of like a water ice being different, so I'm really excited to get to know how we even get into that.
Mhm.
But what was life like for you before entrepreneurship? Were you always business minded?
I was always business minded, so I would say, at my core, I'm a builder, an operator, and a community based entrepreneur. So I've been in freight, I've been in dispatch trucks. I have my own freight company as well.
Mm.
Started Cool Cups DTX last year, and then as well, I'm just a consultant for small businesses, and that's really what kind of pushed me and elevated me into the space where I am now. So back in
Awesome.
2024, I was actually let go from my job, you know.
Mm.
And it was a job that I thought I was gonna be there for years, Aerostar Aviation. But right the next day after I lost that job, I got an opportunity to go back into freight. This was like 2 or 3 years after I shut my freight company down. And the person that I worked for previous, he was moving to Africa and he needed somebody to run his company. So I started operation management and just dispatching his trucks and like just started moving in that direction. Um, and from there, I kind of caught a little momentum. I got now one truck and now I got three trucks, and it seemed like
Wow.
everything was running in a smooth way until those hiccups come. You know, um, so at the for the most part, entrepreneurship has just always been just embedded in me. I started a studio when I was like 15 years old and was doing that. So this is my DNA for sure.
Well, that's amazing. So many businesses, ventures that you've tried. Having a business also at 15, growing up, what did you see around you when it came to like money, business, or ownership? Was this something that you just saw around you and it fueled that, or is it something that you created?
So honestly, I can say that it stems from my mother and father.
Hmm.
My mom has opened up multiple businesses, and my father is a serial entrepreneur still to this day. He has always been just had big ideas, just
Hmm.
massive and great ideas, and my mother as well. I mean, one time we worked with a nonprofit organization and opened up a upper bound, and that was a
Oh
five
yeah.
hundred thousand dollar grant. So just working with them and seeing them in business and in the community, because my father's a pastor as well. So he's
Mm.
always been working in the community, and doing things like that. And my mother too. So she's an educator at this point in time. So she's in the school system. It just always I just always kind of been around it, and it kind of sticks. And I think it kind of clicked when I started my freight company. It was a point,
Hmm.
right? Um, I was driving over the road. I don't know, maybe I was coming from Philadelphia going over to Tennessee, and I stopped at Chili's and I sat down, I had my computer, I had my pen and pad, everything. And it just dawned on me. I said, this is the person I always see myself to be. You know what I'm saying? And just this kind of surrounding and just doing this. So it really kicked off right then. But I do give credit to my mother and father for just always having an entrepreneur spirit.
That's amazing. So B is joining us from YouTube right now. Get a question. If someone from your childhood saw you now, what do you think would surprise them most?
I don't think it'll be a surprise. They would say,
I
"Boy,
love
you know
that.
you was always supposed to be that." You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It
I
was
love
more so
that.
of the surprise as how I was acting as a kid. And in my younger days, the
Mm,
surprise is, why is you out here doing this like this? You know what I'm saying? Like, you the preacher's son, you know.
okay.
So now it'll be like, we always finally, man, finally get in your purpose. You know what I'm saying? So that'll
Yeah.
be it.
So you had to come back to God. I see. It's okay, and it happens to the best of us. And you know what, being a PK, I definitely understand that dynamic of finding yourself, but you will always return to what you grew up with and what you were taught. So I love that you had that epiphany moment, sitting in that Chili's of like this is not the end of what I'm doing. Like I know that I'm destined for these things, because
Yes,
that's really what it takes. But having that strong background that shows the legacy that you were already, growing up in your family, instilling those things for you. So I'm so glad that you got to see that. A lot of people in our community, we don't have that strong background as family when we get into this entrepreneurship. Do you
right.
feel like, having that network and family background, did that help you continue when things were getting hard, when you were having those pitfalls that made you kind of pivot?
Of course.
Mhm.
Honestly, this season that I've been in, I call it dust in the wind. I've been
Mm,
praying, telling God, wherever you choose for me to go, I will go. And I've been praying that prayer for past 2 years. Ever since I really just lost that job with Aerostar, it stemmed from that. And at that point, I just laid everything at his feet and I said, I know you're gonna pay my rent. I said, I know
mhm.
you're not gonna let me suffer, and I know you're gonna make sure my son's straight. And I just been truly just pouring everything into faith and truly believing that he's gonna take me where he's gonna go.
Yeah.
Um, so the how the transitions happen, it was I can truly see the order of everything. So after I started with Tuba LLC, he moved to Africa. I started working with Rapid Motion Logistics because one of my drivers that I dispatched for years ago, you know what I'm saying? I
Wow.
think this thing has been going on for a while. Maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I called him, hey, who you working for? I'm working for Rapid
Mhm.
Motion Logistics. Oh, okay. See if they need a dispatcher. All right. Start working with them, dispatching. Y'all look like y'all both of them work a job. So y'all don't have time to really be operating. Y'all need an operation manager. Started doing the
Love it.
operations management, right? That's how I got the additional 2 trucks. And I think probably like March 2025, they had wrecks, they had breakdowns. They
Wow.
shut the business down. They completely shut it down. Tuba LLC, wow. I mean, it just turned into a bad situation. I'm in on the side of the road and I can't get him on the phone because he in Africa, but we need to get a
Oh,
tow
yeah.
truck, this,
Yeah.
and there's no money in the bank account.
Mm,
And I remember those moments. I remember being in New Jersey. It was like 20 some degrees, and I was sitting in the truck. It was broken down at the mechanic shop, and I just prayed. I just thought, I just like, if it wasn't meant for me, then who else? You know.
mm,
So my background and my spirituality has truly kept me sane. You know,
mhm.
and has propelled me forward in many ways, in many aspects.
Ooh, that is amazing. And you were able to see the need when you were working back in, freight and things like that. What made you see the opportunity where others might have just seen a treat with Cool Cups?
Um, so it started with hmm, I was cool cupping in some apartments called Royal Crest in a neighborhood called Highland Hills in Oak Cliff, Dallas, Texas. If you know, you know. Um, and I was just going out. I was just trying to make sales because this is how I was surviving. This is how I was feeding myself. And there
Wow.
was a young man named Isaiah. He bought a cup from me. Um, and OG Dunn. I went over there to see Dunn in the Pinks. And he was like, man, you know, Isaiah died or whatever. Who was that? He bought the cup from you last week. Oh man, for real? He got murdered.
Wow.
So through Cool Cups, I had met an organization called the Urban Specialists, and their initiative is to um prevent poverty and gun violence in the urban communities. So that is all that they do. They will give up to $1,000 for a funeral. So I called my connect at Urban Specialists. Hey, Veronica, this is what happened. I was cool cup and I met this guy. He bought a cup from me and now he dead, man. Like, is there any way that you guys can help out the family? And they're like, yeah, let's get in, like, get me in touch with his people,
Wow.
and like, all right, let's do it. So through Cool Cups, I had a relationship with Dun, who had a relationship with this person. So I was able to
Wow.
get the mother's information, Miss Tasha. And I put
Mm.
Miss Veronica and Miss Tasha on the phone. They talked, and Miss Veronica was like, well, I'm gonna go with my team and see what's going on. But come to find out, her team had already reached out to Miss Tasha, and they had already paid $1,000 for the burial, for the funeral.
Wow.
Had already paid $200 for the repairs, sent over care packages, and all. They had already done that. And when I
Wow.
met, and from that point on, it kind of was like a light bulb. I was able
Yeah.
to I was able to integrate in a community or an environment that I'm not from, because I'm from Shreveport, Louisiana. I'm not from Dallas, Texas at
Okay.
all. You know,
Yeah.
I was in Highland Hills and all that stuff like that. And my people from Dallas, they're like, "Was anybody with you? Man, you can't be going over there like that, man. You
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
things
Yeah.
on, you
Talking about
got your
cool cups
things."
over there.
Man, I know you want to make your money, but don't go over there, right?
Uh-huh.
Um, so dude, I saw it, and Veronica, she's really spoken. She was like, "Man, that's amazing. Through your business, you was able to get all this information, and now could be able to be an impact in that." And I'm not gonna lie, that was my Miss Tasha invited me to do Cool Cups at the repass, and I'm coming
Wow.
back this year for the anniversary.
Oh
Still
my
in
gosh.
contact with Miss Tasha.
That is amazing. Wow. To know that God put you in the right place at the right time, especially when you shouldn't have been around those parts, but when you when your steps are ordered
Anybody with
and
a brain, you heard me? That's a no go.
but you were supposed to be there just for you to make those connections and to show you your community impact because you would have never, like you said, that was just a way for you to eat. You weren't thinking
Mhm,
of, probably how far that reach would be as far as being in the community and now instilling yourself, as a transplant into Dallas as well. So that is an amazing story and rest in peace. So glad that you get to go back is,
mhm.
a representation of this connection and how the community is helping the community. So thank you for sharing that. Was that the first sale that really made you realize that you should stick with this, or what was that like? Do you remember?
That was like I say, God has been in full control, dust in the
Hmm.
wind. Like I'm just going. He's been in full control up until everything. And yeah, that was the first time that I recognized, okay, this is something different.
Yeah.
Um, and once I just really started volunteering with the urban specialists, right? They had an
Mm.
opportunity because again, I'm broke. My water off,
Yeah.
like, God, what's going on? Look, at this point in time, I can't go outside and cool cook because my car broke
Mm.
down. Funds, it costs, you got to pay vendor fees to go out and do all
Yeah.
this stuff. I can't even get outside and do what I know how it's gonna make me some money. What I've been paying my rent for. So this was October. I've been paying my rent off of Cool Cup since June. So June, July, August, September.
Oh,
Right.
wow.
Um, so that just came to a halt. And
Mm.
there was an opportunity at the urban specialist to canvas. They would have some paid canvassing jobs. And I called Veronica. I started canvassing. The canvassing job was like 2 weeks, a couple $100. Really, some gas money and
Yeah,
some
really
food.
volunteering, but yeah.
But it is what it is. But I didn't stop coming. I kept going
Mm,
back. I kept going back. I volunteered with the urban specialist from October all the way up until now. Um, and I just saw the mission, and they do great work. So now we actually work. I'm an actual contracted community victim services liaison. So everybody
oh,
who is
praise God.
affected in that what to gun violence, I actually get to really touch them in ways and offer them resources. So that's
Oh, wow.
that's that's when the whole thing came together, right? Um, Now that I'm working with the urban specialist, but
That's amazing.
now it's like how how do we impact? How do we
Mhm.
make change through this? We already know we can integrate. We know that the environment is going to be welcoming because of the product. It's good, people
Mhm.
love it. So how do we effectively create change in it? Um, and that goes to the entrepreneurship part about this. Water Ice Express is huge on this aspect. Water Ice Express. Okay, I don't know if I mentioned Water Ice Express, but Water Ice Express, I might have skipped around a little bit. So my driver Lorenzo, who got me hired with Rapid Motion, he started working for Water Ice Express as a driver. Water Ice Express did a meet and greet down here in Dallas. I tasted the product, I liked it,
Mhm.
and I said, "Hey, see if they need an operations manager," you know. And I got the position, and now they distribute all over the country. But as well in that, we have books to teach you how to scoop your water ice. We have books to teach you how, like from A to Z, what water ice is, how to sell this product, what size cups you need, how much you gonna sell these cups for. We have the profit playbook, which entails gives you all the systems that you need to put into place. Thinking about breaking your company down into departments so when it's time to scale up, you are actually ready. And then we
Right.
have a school community of over 300 people that's in this business together, and they share information. They share, hey, I got a cart from over here. This is what you need for your permits. It's a we built a community, and it's nothing else like this, especially when it comes to water rights. Because the thing
Yeah.
about water rights, it's a 3-for-1 profit margin. So if you spend $50, you guaranteed to make 200, but you make 250, or you make 300, depending on where you are in the United States and the demand for the product. So
Right.
Water Ice has expressed with working with them, they have already built the structure and the education pieces for this. So now I'm in bed with urban specialists, so I just take it to the community.
Wow. And creating a whole network and understanding on how to actually scale your business. We have another question on YouTube from Isaac Austin. He asked, does he have a business plan to receive funding?
Yes.
Okay. So that's also
Cool
a part
Cups,
of what you're sharing.
CoolCupsDTX.com. Info
Okay.
at Cool Cups DTX. But yes, and that is a great thing about I apologize for bouncing back and forth, but
No, you're
uh
fine.
with the urban specialists, so I met them doing an event, right? Just
Mhm.
one of my friends who's like, hey, try to go to this event. It was a Killer Ain't Cool Ain't event. And once I started coming around and volunteering, I entered a program called Bishop Omar School of Entrepreneurship. It's another initiative that the urban specialist provides for our community. And in that, they taught us how to structure our business, get our LLCs, create that business pitch
Oh,
and that
perfect.
business plan so we can actually be fundable. We can be bankable. They bring in business bank partners from Texas, Bank of Texas, Chase Bank, and many
Wow.
others, and actually come and talk to us about what it is that the banks are truly looking for to get funded. So it
Wow.
kind of all just been just working together.
So really turned it into a growing business from just, a hustle or way for you to pay rent, things like that, you really learn the business model and turn this around. So took what you knew from freight as well and
Right.
really like incorporated it into that. That is absolutely amazing. Yeah, I didn't know that all of that was out there. I see a few people in your community when you posted the promo, and I was just like, wow, there's a lot. I was like, he knows a lot of people who are, also selling, the water ice. But now I
Yes.
understand, it although there's maybe a competition, you guys are really a community and helping each other grow. So I
Yeah.
love to see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Um,
because water ice is only from Philadelphia, so we just
yeah,
spreading it everywhere.
that
Truly.
is beautiful. And with that, I know that you had a lot of, networking opportunities, assistance, but what did you have to learn quickly that nobody really teaches you about entrepreneurship when you got on this journey?
Hmm. Um, I would say agility and pivoting. That's
Mm,
not even taught in general. But if you have the ability to pivot in an instance, in a moment, you can really turn a bad position into a good position. So
yeah,
that's with Cool Cups. That's what has truly been what I've learned in this. And even like freight was a different beast, but in this,
mhm,
you got to go out. You gotta have setups. You got to make sure your ice don't freeze. What if it start melting? What do you do? So we gotta put it
yeah,
in a different cooler. It was a lot of on like in real time figuring the things out and learning to pivot. And with that, I started using the word pivot a lot more, even in the classes. And I started to understand, like, if we just adjust, then we'll be okay. The adjustment
mhm.
is the move forward. That's really the progression in everything. So that's one of the things that I really just took away from this.
Yeah, for sure. Pivoting. And you've done a lot of it. Like you said, you went from a completely different business model and turned it into something that is cool and a part of, your community. And I kind of want to touch on that, the phrase community in every cup. It really stands out to me. You did speak about it a little bit on how you were able to engulf yourself in your community, but what does that statement really mean to you?
Community in every cup. Um, that truly means transformation. Um,
Mm,
because we see in Water Ice Express in the business, like distributing and being a service for other people that's doing this, we see transformation all the time. We see a person who don't have nothing but some, I don't know, some drugs or whatever.
yeah,
This is all they know. This is how they feed their family, and they don't have anything else, or they didn't think they had anything. But we see taking something out of your hand and putting something in the other hand that's just as sustainable because you already have the
yeah,
mindset. I saw a quote or a post, and it was like, um three guys or five kids went in and broke into a house, but they took structure, it took organization, it took leadership and roles and responsibilities for y'all to go and
very
make that
true.
happen, right? She
Yeah,
said, why don't y'all just go and be a security company and open, just do consulting for these firms that want to understand how people be breaking in stuff. So
yeah.
that's what I see, that
Mm.
that's really what it is. The community, every cup is, it can be a a transition. It could be life changing because once it's a lot of people in our community. Once they see it, they're like, "Oh my god, I didn't know that I could make my biggest one of my biggest plays in Cool Cups. I had a 500 pre-cup order for a nonprofit organization. They
Wow.
were doing an initiative for students that were on time, wasn't tardy, and that was in class every day. And that was
Mhm.
$1,500 in one day. Do you know I was working 9 to 5 for so many hours. I don't even know, for
Yeah.
15 hours. So once you see it and it's like it's tangible, oh, this is actually real, you know. Um, that's when every I think people will be transformed and the impact can be really made because it's actually real.
Yeah, and I love that you mentioned that because I know, especially in our community, how I grew up. I have family that's they're from Knowlton, Louisiana. So
Okay.
kind of down the street from you.
Okay.
And just, yeah, just that area, especially just knowing how you grew up a little bit, everyone does have that hustler mentality. So I love
Yeah.
that you say that you can transform that into real business, everything that everyone was doing, whether that was legal or illegal, you did have to have some type of business infrastructure. So how do we turn that around? And I love that you found a way, that, like you said, pretty much puts the same mentality, different products in their hand, and
Mm,
makes that something bigger. Because that's real community change and real legacy. So I love that you
yes,
put it in those words.
yes,
Like you
indeed.
said, there's a few businesses. This was something that was big on the East Coast. So what makes your brand in particular different from anyone else selling something similar?
Um, so the way that I go about selling my Cool Cups is through youth. My
Hmm.
son and my nephew last year, they were the beta, right? They were the testing. I was trying it out with
Yeah.
them to exactly how quick they can grasp it, how long it'll take them to run a stand by themselves. My son is 14, my nephew is 15. So they
Mm-hmm.
at that age where they need stuff to do during the summertime and they want money. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So it just felt like the perfect time for me to give them something. They always see me in the studio. They've seen me trucking. They've seen me
Yeah,
do a lot of things that they didn't have, they couldn't actually do for themselves. But this is gonna be my brand is really gonna be youth based and organized. I'm gonna have the youth
I
go
love
out
that.
and they gonna push the product and they gonna get paid. They gonna make the
I
money
absolutely
themselves.
love that.
I'm
Yes,
really
and
want
that's very important.
to.
So yeah, you're kind of learning as you go as well, teaching them how to completely scale it from that age. And what a perfect age to be doing it. So I love that you started with your family and teaching them the legacy of, hey, this is building something from the ground up. What was
Right.
something maybe they didn't understand about entrepreneurship,
Customer service.
that you think? Yeah. Okay, yeah, because just the generation period.
Customer service. Get off your phone, man. Hey, just get me. Get your head up.
Yes. No,
Customer
that is
service.
so true. No,
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. I think it's just big. We were like brainwashed about it, and now it
Yeah.
seems like you said it's not. We have
Back in
another
my day,
question that I'll
daddy had
ask.
us. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, no, go ahead. Yeah, back no, back in
Back
our
in
day,
my
yeah.
day, my daddy had us on the side of the road with the signs. I'm like, car wash,
Same,
car wash. You heard we trying to
same.
get some
We were at
information
swap
from
meet. We
you.
were at, yeah. Customers
Yeah.
always right. We had a whole different mentality. So yeah, that is definitely, and they're strictly on their phones. So
Yes.
I don't
Get
know
off
how,
their phone.
yeah, you're doing a good work, brother. You're doing a good work. Teaching our
It's some work. I'll tell you that much. It's some work too. I
for
don't know.
sure. And Isaac Austin also asked, what do you think the budget would be to push the product out for people who
To
are
push the
looking
product
to
out.
start?
For people that's looking to start,
Hmm.
people that's looking to start. Okay, so you have a different. Okay, now we going to Water Ice Express. Now y'all got me in the mode.
Yeah.
So we got a couple different ways to start off. You got your prepackaged cups way, which is pretty much a catering based strategy. You go out, you target people that are doing corporate events, right? Birthday parties. You get at your
Mhm.
football teams and stuff like that, and you focus on catering. You get into the school systems and focus on catering. Like I said, I had a 500 cup order, which was my first order, and that was a catering. I just had pre-packaged cup. I wasn't on site scooping. I took my cups in my cooler and I went and dropped them off. You know, I actually stayed and distributed them with the kids because that's just me. But you can do it like that as well. We had one time that we had Stevens Transport Driver Appreciation Day, right? They had a 200 cup order real quick one day. Just go in, drop them off, you get off. Then you have a push cart or you have a push cart, tricycle bike. You can go that route. That's gonna cost you a little bit more. So your first one, if you want to start out small, you can start with that with 2 buckets, some cups, and spoons, and just go outside. You just want to get like that. $200. right? You want to get a little bit more professional. You want to go the right way. Because I say $200 because two buckets is gonna be $50 a piece, and then you have your cup costs and your spoon costs and stuff like that. So right around another $100. It just depends on how much you get. Then you can go into your cart, or you can go into your trailer, or you can go into a store. Correct. So in those aspects, it's going to take a little bit more paperwork. You really are going to have to have your permits aligned, have your LLC and all your insurances taken care of as well. So we're going to say your push cart. We can start off like 2,000, 2,500, just depending on how much you spend on your cart. I know here in Texas, it costs $300 for LLC. If you're doing it yourself, you can go through like LegalZoom or another company like that, a service. You might be 400, something like that. So that's your
Yeah.
LLC. $200 for your yearly permit in Texas. Well, that's in here in Dallas. So we at $500 right there, and that's where, like I say, just the product, your supplies, and everything that you'll need, depending on how many buckets you wanna buy as well. Um, and then when you get to your big boy status, your trailers, trucks, storefronts, man, you gotta have some money for it because a trailer already installed with everything that you need, that might be 50,000,
Hmm.
brand new or something like that. But we do. Um, I always tell people to look around, go on Facebook Marketplace, find the cheapest way to get started.
Yeah.
So when it goes into the higher numbers, those are really going to be based off of your equipment that you get and how much you want to start with. But when it comes to the products is 2, 3 for 1 profit margin all the way in. Uline, you probably can get 1,000 cups for about 79, $80 or something like that.
Okay.
So, you know.
And the product itself, the water ice, is this created by you? Is this through the company that can be purchased if someone's looking? Is this like franchise opportunity?
Yes, Water Ice Express is a manufacturer and distributor. Like I say,
Okay.
one of my buddies, he was driving for them, and you know, and they're a family. That company is ran by a brother and sister, Lane and TJ. Um,
Mhm.
and they had built this thing from the ground up. They started last year as well. So distribution and pushing the product out across the nation, they started that last year, and I just had the opportunity to get in on the ground floor when they started, but they manufacture and distribute everywhere.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, if you guys want more information on that, of course, reach out to Elliot because it looks like it's something that is a great community to be a part of. So
Mhm.
thank you for sharing that. I know that's kind of diving in a little deeper on what people could do to do what you're doing, but I know that that's something that you love to share and
Yes.
build a community around. Now, with this, I know this is year two, you were saying, summer two, that you will be doing this. During this time, have you ever had a moment where you wanted to quit or you just felt like this wasn't the business model that you should be going into?
No, because of
Mm,
that that alignment, right?
yeah.
Like I lost my job, started freight, met the water rights people, met urban specialists, and now I'm in civilians. Like the alignment, it just is undeniable for me. So
Mhm.
wholeheartedly I'm in this to 50 million. I'm in this.
Yes, say that. I love it. I'm so glad. So yeah, you definitely found your lane and you're sticking with it and you see where your calling is. So someone on Instagram actually said you are walking in your calling. And that
Yes.
is Miss Lady 1793. So yes, thank you for following that in your path. And as a Black business owner, especially in the state of Texas, what does ownership mean to you beyond just income?
You don't see that, he gonna say something. I got you on, please. Who you work with? I'm on a podcast. Who you with? Just me as Dale. Always on the
Hey,
clock, y'all.
community based, yes.
Always on the
That is
clock, y'all.
community. That's beautiful.
I, this the man who never sleeps. I work a night shift from 7 p.m. 7 a.m.
Oh wow. Oh my goodness. Okay, so really pushing the business and pouring into it. So yeah,
That's
that led to my question. As a Black business owner, what does ownership mean to you beyond just the income?
beyond just the income is legacy. Is really like
Hmm.
I've always so I started I'm working on a company called 7G, 7 General Systems of just understanding business. And with it, I like to whatever I have, I like to offer it. Um, so it's like truly providing a service in whatever it is that you're doing. It's serving your people, it's serving and educating, even if like we doing cool, 'cause whoever thought, but having the opportunity to speak to people. So in businesses, your business plan has to fix a problem anyway. So in all actuality, I truly focus on the problems I'm looking to fix in general, and then dig deeper into the community problems after that.
No, very important. And thank you for saying that about entrepreneurship. It really is finding your lane and seeing where the need is. Like you were saying before, you saw that in your freight companies. You're seeing that here with Cool Cups, and really allowing others to see where they can fit in as well. So you're really building, your legacy and showing the way not only to your family but to the full community. So we truly appreciate you, like I said, stepping into that path here and listening to God and following that.
Thank you so
And just
much.
a little, no, thank you. And just a little segue over to, the product. So I got to ask, I see a lot of your content, see you trying it. What flavor represents you?
Earth ice.
Okay, why? Why Earth Ice? I like the name
Mm.
of that.
So Earth ice is pistachio, cotton candy, and blueberry. It looks like
Mm,
Earth. I'm a Taurus. I've always like I truly believe I'm an earth sign for real. I'm
mhm.
a grounded person. I like to just be structured. Um, and that was one of my first flavors that somebody said, "Oh, I don't want nothing else. I don't care what's it. Give me
Okay,
the earth ice." Okay. And that was it. So yeah, earth ice.
I love that. Now, is that the best selling flavor?
No,
No?
no,
Okay,
no.
which one is? Why do people gravitate to the best selling? Which one is it?
Tropical freeze, that's um, strawberry, peach, and mango. Yeah, that's a
Okay.
bad
Oh, like
drum.
like the bit like the old school big sticks then.
Type. Yeah, almost.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I can see that.
Uh,
Yeah, I can see why people gravitate towards that.
mhm. Yeah, so it's like with water ice, we're not selling just the product, we're selling art at the same time. So the color
Yeah,
mixtures and the waves, it kind of that's what people gravitate towards, and then the mixture of the flavors um is really what kind of like takes it over the edge, you know. That's why
for sure.
everybody in water ice who does water ice, no water ice company will be the same because we all mix our flavors differently.
Oh,
You're
okay.
not
So
gonna
you're
get
mixing and creating. Okay. I love that.
that. So even though it's manufactured and we're getting a 2.5 gallon bucket and we're going in and we're scooping and making our product and putting them in cups, um, right? Those are just the
Hmm.
main flavors. But when we break them down and create our own, like that's the creativity part. We have a client in Houston. She's cream cruiser, right? And
Hmm.
anybody in Houston go holler cream. You feel me? And she has a nerds, and I don't know what flavors it is. It looks like it might be strawberry lemonade, cotton candy, and blueberry cream, but I don't know. But if even if it is, that's a bad job. That's a bad
Yeah.
job.
Okay. Oh, I love
You know,
that.
so
All right. So yeah, you still get to create an experience. So how important is that with having this type of business of creating that experience and not just, selling the product as it comes?
you said how important is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's everything.
Mhm.
It's truly everything. The neighborhood the neighborhood food spots that's in the neighborhoods, right? Like we got right here, Miss Irene's on Spring Street. Those stores and those things have an experience or a reputation or something like a memory or something
Mhm.
that people gravitate towards. So it's not just business, it's psychological as well. We want to make an impression to the point where people will always want to come to me. When I wasn't doing
Yeah.
the right thing, I would tell people that I was successful in doing the wrong thing because I would sell myself. People, you can go
Yeah.
buy whatever you want from anybody, but I am the only Elliott Pope. And with the story and with the background and with hey man, back in 1957, post World War II, after World War, like
Yeah, I
all
didn't know
that,
that.
it just brings it just brings it in. It's that is
Yeah.
the most.
And I would say that it's very important, especially in the climate that we're in now with social media and everyone, presenting themselves. And you really do have to sell yourself first, like you said. And with that, Elliot, what does growth look like for you right now?
Oh, um, I can tell you my plan. So I plan on I met this wonderful lady named Candace Fleming. She has an organization called Families of Conviction. And in that organization, they work with youth and moms and just anybody who's been affected by somebody being incarcerated. So they have a program called
Mhm.
Superseed, which is cultivate, integrate, and elevate for the youth. So they are already on a path of teaching kids how to be entrepreneurs and showing
Mhm.
them different trades that they can come up with, whether it's DJing, they got a studio in there, they do photography, press printing, and all that stuff. So
Wow.
my next plan is to franchise out. Um, I create the structure for these students. I give them the means, I got the permits, I got everything for you, and just give them an
Wow.
opportunity to go and make some money. All the only thing they can actually start 100% a true business right now and learn the rest on the back end. You working one on one with me, so you will
Mm.
learn how to build your LLC. You will learn how to create your graphics and your logos and all that stuff like that. But I know a lot of the times for youth, it's just I want to get in it, and once I get them in it, and you know, they are enticed by the money that they can make. But I'm teaching them how to be
The full
entrepreneurs.
business. Yeah.
They're learning customer service. They have to learn how to take inventory, and we have to go to POS systems, and we have to know who's going to be scooping today, who's going to be doing who's going to be taking out samples, who's going to be running the cash register. Those are
Yeah.
things that and then it goes even deeper. Whatever I have to do, y'all have to do. So how do we get these? How do we get these
Mhm.
shows? How do we get these vending opportunities? Well, I'm gonna show you how to do a cold call. I'm gonna show you how to do an email blast. I'm gonna show you. So
Wow.
when it comes to whatever it is that you truly have a passion for and you truly want to do, you can go do it. Or you can go get a job with these skills because I just taught you accounting. Now you know
Exactly.
data entry, you know. Now you have customer service skills. Now you know how to master it. You could be administrative assistant, you know. So it's just the transferable skills in business can transfer either way, and that's truly where I want to do.
It's
That's
amazing.
what we.
Is that just through the organization, or is this something that when we go to your website, the youth will be able to sign up for, like a summer program? How do you see that being set up? I'm like, because I have some kids I can send your way, so I just want to know.
Send them my way. Nah, yeah, they can go through the organization because it's a great
Yeah,
program. Either way, they can learn to do it with me. They can learn to do it with them. And then as well, I'm just going to get kids, man. Just I got a
yeah.
young kid that worked with him. He did they was doing a Black History program at Skyline High
Hmm.
School, and we were making a theme song for the school, and he was great. This first time him rapping, like he never got in the studio before. Took him to the studio, he did the theme
Mm,
song. It was nice, and that's just like I like him. So, buddy, if you want to make some money, let me show you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
yeah.
just whoever wants the opportunity, we're gonna create the opportunity and build for them. you know,
Wow. Did you
eventually.
even think that this is where you would take this business, like where it would become something that you're so heavily focused in the youth with?
Dust in the wind.
Wow.
You
Okay.
get it.
I love that. Yeah, yeah,
Mm,
I love that.
yeah.
That is absolutely amazing. And what systems have you had to put in place to go from selling the cups to building this brand and now being able to franchise it?
Oh man, it's been so Squarespace is honestly it's cool for what we need, but I like Zoho One. Zoho One is a all-in-one 21 23 app, the system where you can do CRM, accounting,
Mm,
HR. You can make sure you manage your receipts and all. It's like it's all intuitive, and you could manage inventory, do POs, receive your inventory in. That system I've been working with personally myself and just like kind of pushing it. But Squarespace has some of the same features, and I do have a lot of clients that's how they get their money. So we use Squarespace as well. But Zoho One has been one of those that I've been like, I've kind of been blown away about because it's
okay.
easy. It's easy to manage, and it's not. It's like $45 a month, honestly. And you can get
All right.
landing
So y'all heard
pages if
it.
you want to, anything.
Oh, perfect.
You
Okay. So
want to
all
start
in
doing it
one.
yourself?
Yeah. Hmm.
Just got multiple apps. Just got multiple apps.
Perfect. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Now, I want to get and dive into a question that we ask. Going to do a little fast fire round. So they'll be quick. First thing that comes to your mind, of course. So, one word to describe your journey. Would you say more CEO or creative?
Obedient.
Okay. I like that. I heard that. Yes, because you have
I heard
been, and look at where it has brought you. Yes. Go ahead.
yeah, I heard
All
for
right.
sure.
Which one, risk or stability?
Risk.
Okay. Why would you pick risk?
Less than the win. I mean, this whole
Mm,
time, like I've had nothing to tangibly say I'm good with,
mm,
and when you take risks, you have to put like truly taking risks is 100% trust in God. And that's
yeah.
like, and that's one thing it's very hard to do because your mind has over what they say 70,000 negative thoughts in one day.
Hmm.
So it's truly about placing that faith in God and having him hold you even in those times where you don't know what the next meal is going to be, how you like it risks 100%
Yes, 100%. All right. Next would be legacy or lifestyle.
legacy. I
Yes,
don't do
for
this for money.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you can definitely see it. Not once have you even brought up like, oh, I just want to be this way or sit down, and it's you're continuously building and building up others.
No.
And
Yeah,
what's your biggest motivation right now?
that's a good one. Um, I got a statement that that kind of is always kind of stuck with me throughout my life. I say I've been here before, right? And
Mm,
that's just in those times where I may have been in a season of where I had to walk and ride the bus and these things like that. And this season that I've been in, that we've been just describing over this past year and a half, has been that. I've been here before. I've
mm,
been in this place. I've felt these emotions. I felt um this harsh depression I've been here before, and I
yeah,
don't want to do the same thing I did last time. I don't want to make it. But I want to come back. I want to come out a different person. I want to come out changed. I want to be different. I've been here before, and
yeah,
that's my biggest motivation because I know God has plans, right? But we will never get to where He has purposed us to be without obedience. And I just know
mm,
over my lifetime, like that's why I say everything started moving forward when I started being obedient and just
yeah,
listening, just really tuning in to what it is that he wants and not just removing myself. So
yeah.
yeah, that's my biggest motivation.
For sure. I love that you said that because, like you said, you've been through all of the worst things. You know how to get through it. So why would you not trust that you can continue, to do something or make it better? So yes, definitely listening,
But the thing
being obedient.
is, we have survival tactics. We know how to survive.
Hmm.
We know
Yes.
how to make it through. We know how to, manage even in this. But I don't want to stay here. I don't want to
Hmm.
be in. I want to live. I don't want to be surviving.
Yeah.
And that's just the biggest difference because we all get caught in. I can make it shake. I can make it do what it do, and we can. But
Hmm.
truly, where are we gonna be next year? 5 years from now?
Hmm.
What's going on?
Yeah. Yeah. Are you going to stay in that survival mindset? Are you going to learn to live in your purpose? And you're definitely doing that. And if you could give advice to your younger self, what would it be?
I would say, my biggest flaw or downfall has numbing myself down or dumbing myself down. I would
Mm.
tell myself to be you genuinely 100%. They used to call me the professor in my daddy church when I was a little kid. Be
Yeah.
the professor. Come on out, professor. But that just in because I would walk into rooms and just these ideas or just who I am in general would maybe be it would come off offensive or maybe I would ruffle feathers and stuff like that.
Wow.
That's one thing I had to learn. Like, bro, you're smart. Okay, it's okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't have to feel bad for other people's lack of knowledge. Just teach.
Mhm. Mhm.
And that was the thing that used to catch me up. I would just feel bad for it, and I would try to do things in my might and help, but it wouldn't come out the right way. So it's just
Yeah.
teach. If they want
Mm.
it, they'll pick it up.
No, that's big because you have to learn that as a kid too. And what way should you show up to make others feel comfortable instead of showing up big for yourself? So I'm glad that, yeah, that's something you learned for sure. And you've changed that around, but definitely something that you're instilling in the youth. So something you had to go through regardless so that you can teach others. So God always
Right.
has a plan. God always has
He
a
does.
plan.
He does. Truly.
Now, we ask every guest this question. I want to give you a little time. I think I know it already, but I'm going to ask if you had to give a title to your memoir of your journey thus far, what would the title be and why?
Give me a second. Let me think about that.
Okay.
He finna slide through here. Uno momento.
No problem. If you guys are joining us for this conversation, we have Elliott Pope here in Dallas, Texas with Cool Cups DTX. So make sure you follow, like, share, and of course, if you're in the Dallas area, you want to go ahead and visit and pick up those cool cups. And of course, if you have anyone who's interested in learning about franchising or being a part of this community, definitely reach out to him. Like he said, info at Cool Cups DXT. And Elliot would be
DTX.
happy. DTX. I'm so sorry. I said it backwards. DTX. Dallas, Texas is what it stands for.
Dallas, Texas. Cool Cups DTX.com. Info at Cool Cups DTX at gmail.com. Oh, not Gmail. I'm sorry. You know what I mean. What was the question again?
Yep. If you could give a title to your memoir of your journey thus far, what would the title be and why?
Dustin the Wind.
That's
I
what I
truly
figured.
believe that. I truly believe in that. And I'll tell you where that came from. So I was in choir um in elementary and middle school, pretty much up until high school. And we did a song called Dust in the Wind. It's a very powerful song. It's like it almost sound like the Beatles. I truly don't know who wrote it, off the top of my head, but I've always remembered this song from choir. And when I grew up, it started making sense.
Mm, Dust in the Wind. Okay. And what song was it?
You said what song was it?
Yeah. I'm
That was
trying to
that's the
think
name
of.
of the song.
Oh, Dust in the Wind. Okay, I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah, that's the Wind is the name of the song.
What started making sense to you once you got older?
Um, in this season, once I had walked into this season and started to just ask God where He want, just take me wherever He wanted to place me at.
Mm,
Um, that's when it started to like connect. I can see just dust being lifted into the air and the wind taking it all over the place, just
mm,
all over America, all over the world. Just it's limitless into the um where it can be taken. I don't even know. And that's the most beautiful part about this. When people ask me, where do you see yourself in 10 years? I don't know. That's the wind, you
yes,
know.
because you know God will carry you, right?
Yeah, I don't know what he has up his sleeve. I just know he
Hmm.
doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? And when he do
Right.
what he do, I ain't gonna who am I to stop him? You heard?
Yeah,
Who am
for
I?
sure. I love that. And just to, before we end, I just want you to kind of give a plug. How can people support you, follow you, and tap into Cool Cups DTX?
At Cool Cups DTX, everything. First off, um, I would truly just let me run down everybody. Shout out to
Yeah.
Urban Specialist. Shout out to Water Ice Express. Shout out to the Civility Institute. Shout out to Families of Conviction. Shout out to the Super Seed Center. That's how you can support those foundations
Yeah.
and those people in those community-based organizations that are doing the work. If you want a cool cup, come on, let me. We'll be in at One Social tomorrow from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. because the Civility Institute is putting on for the new urban legend that is going to
Awesome.
be a teenage, middle school and high school music showcase that has clean, uplifting, and non-negative and divisive language. So we bringing it out. You know what I'm saying? Look, if we can work together in any capacity, let's do it.
Yes, thank you, Elliot. We'll definitely tag those businesses as well so that our community can support because they're definitely doing great things. And I'm so glad that you're a part of that. So thank you again. And for everyone, this was one of those conversations that reminds you that opportunity is everywhere if you're willing to see it. And that building something meaningful doesn't always start big, it starts with a decision. So make sure you guys are following Elliot, supporting Cool Cups DTX, and tapping into what he's building. And as always, we will see you next time on Sister Soul Sessions. Thank you again, Elliot, for taking the time to join us and letting us learn about your business and journey. It was a true
Thank
pleasure.
you. Thank you
Thank
as
you.
well.
You guys have a wonderful evening.